Welcome to my presentation of the Akimel Atem. The Pima tribe, or the Akimel Atem, meaning the people of the river, reside in central and southern Arizona, as well as northwestern Mexico. They are considered to be a subgroup of the Atem, which consists of the Tohono Atem, the Akimel Atem, and the Hiasiad Atem. These people are thought to be culturally descended from the group known as the Hohokam. The term Hohokam is a derivative of the Atem word Huhugam, which is literally translated as those who have gone before, but means the ancestors. The Pima name was applied by the Spanish from the phrase Pian Yi Mac, or Pimac, which means I don't know, the answer given by the Atem to the questions asked by the Spanish. Culture. The Akimel Atem and the other Atem believed that they were given the land they live on by someone they refer to as elder brother, and that it is their responsibility to be custodians of the environment in which they live. Considering the fact that the Akimel Atem are descended from the Hohokam, we could assume they originated from Mexico. It is believed that the Hohokam migrated north from what is now Mexico and settled in southern Arizona. There is strong evidence that they maintained ties with communities in Mexico because of traded items such as parrots and copper bells that have been found and traced to Mexico origin. The Akimel Atem were a peaceful agricultural people who used complex irrigation systems to grow crops and augmented their diets through hunting and gathering. They lived in rural villages where they built mud and grass houses that were supported by wood poles, which all surrounded a common area used for cooking. Traditionally, Atem women were responsible for preparing foods like chimath, which is a tortilla-like bread. Young women were responsible for gathering food and water for their families. Women and girls were also given the responsibility of making pottery and weaving basketry. Young men might shadow older men during hunting, spinning string for weaving, or making rope. Men took more responsibility for butchering animal products and making leather hides. Contact and crisis. At first, the Akimel Atem encounters with the Spanish were limited to parties passing through the territory and visits to the southern settlements. In 1694, the beginning of the Hispanic era, Father Kino made his first visit to the Pima villages. Then, missionaries converted many of the Atem people to the Roman Catholic faith. The new settlers introduced new crops, cattle, horses, sheep, and goats, and new technologies. In 1751, the charismatic Luis Okpikigwa began the task of uniting the contrasting groups of Atem. However, Luis eventually died in a Spanish prison in 1755. Despite the ongoing rebellions, the Sonoran natives had been heavily missionized. During the Mexican-American War, the Pima served as a major anchor for the United States at the time, and travelers used the villages of the Akimel Atem as oases to recover from the crossing of unfamiliar deserts. When the American era began, the interaction between Native American groups and Euro-American settlers became increasingly tense. The U.S. government's adoption of a policy of pacification and confinement forced all the Native American groups to reservations. Modern status. Today, the various bands of Atem people are broken up into 4 federally recognized tribes: the Tohono Atem Nation, the Gila River Indian Community, the Akchin Indian Community, and the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community. The Akimel Atem people now live within the reservation of the Gila River Indian Community, which was established in 1859. And the Gila River Indian Community was formally established by Congress in 1939. The reservation has a land area of 583 square miles and a 2000 census population of 11,257 people. It is made up of 7 districts along the Gila River, and its largest communities are Sackatoon, Kamutki, Santan, and Blackwater. The Gila River Indian Community also lies adjacent to the south side of the city of Phoenix and is home to the members of both the Akimel Atem and the Peepash tribes. Many members of the tribe struggle with drug addiction, alcoholism, and health-related issues. The various casinos owned by the Atem bring currency for financing the Pima tribe and the others as well, but they still have the lowest personal incomes in the U.S. Historically, the Akimel Atem and Tohono Atem were some of the world's premier basket makers, and the Tohono Atem remain very active in this field. Among the Akimel Atem, basket weaving is an art undergoing revival. Ira Hamilton Hayes was an Akimel Atem Indigenous American in the United States Marine during World War II. Hayes was an enrolled member of the Gila River Indian Community, and he enlisted in the United States Marine Corps Reserve on August 26, 1942, and after recruit training, volunteered to become a paramarine. He fought in the Bougainville and Iwo Jima campaigns in the Pacific War. Natalie Diaz, born September 4, 1978, is a Pulitzer Prize-winning Mojave American poet, language activist, former professional basketball player, and educator. She is enrolled in the Gila River Indian Community and identifies as Akimel Atem. She is currently an associate professor at Arizona State University. Douglas Miles grew up in Phoenix, Arizona, then moved back to San Carlos Apache Indian Reservation in Arizona. He drew images from cartoons, sci-fi, and comic books and attended the Al Collins Graphic Design School in Phoenix, Arizona. From 1978 to 1980, Miles attended the Ballstrom Alternative High School, when he created street art. Thank you for viewing my presentation.